Some days, happiness does not come from a faraway trip or a big gift. Sometimes happiness is simply being cared for gently by mother. Lying under the morning sunlight, having your hands and feet massaged, hearing mother smile, and feeling that in this small home, you are always loved in the gentlest way. That day, Cutis ran out from inside the house. He was not wearing a shirt, and he was holding a teddy bear to use as a pillow. His face looked happy, as if he already knew this would be a special morning. Behind him, Mother carried BUEM and followed with a gentle smile. Mother looked at the two brothers with loving eyes. Cutis excitedly ran ahead, while Mother calmly prepared everything. She brought a reclining chair into the middle of the yard and placed it where the sunlight was just right. Not too harsh, not too cold, a perfect place for the two brothers to relax. Mother gently arranged Cutis to lie down. The little teddy bear was placed under his head as a pillow. Cutis lay on the chair, looking up at the sky, his face full of enjoyment. BUEM was also placed beside him. The two brothers rested together in the yard, enjoying the sunlight in a peaceful moment that only family could create. Mother began massaging BUEM's hands and feet. Every movement was gentle. It rubbed BUEM's small hands, then his legs, moving slowly so he could feel comfortable. BUEM seemed to enjoy it very much. He lay still, his face relaxed, his eyes showing that he was enjoying every bit of Mother-esque care. Cutis lay beside him and watched. He felt happy inside too. He liked seeing BUEM being cared for by Mother. He liked seeing his little brother comfortable. He liked seeing Mother so gentle. To Cutis, this moment felt like the whole family was resting after many busy days. After finishing BUEM's massage, Mother turned to care for Cutis. She rubbed his head, gently stroked him, and touched him softly. Cutis closed his eyes and enjoyed the feeling. Even though he usually ran around, made mischief, and tried to act grown up, when Mother cared for him, Cutis became a small child again. A child who also needed comfort. A child who also needed gentleness. A child who also needed Mother's love through soft touches. The two brothers lay there in a peaceful moment. No one was rushing. No one had to do anything big. There was only gentle sunlight, the chair in the yard, Cutis' teddy bear pillow, and Mother's hands caring for each child. Mother told the two brothers to keep relaxing, while she went inside first. Cutis and BUEM stayed there, enjoying the moment a little longer. To the two brothers, that morning felt like perfect home care service that only Mother could give. It did not need to be fancy. As long as Mother was there, everything became warm. Mother went inside and began taking care of the kitchen work. In the kitchen, she prepared to cook for the whole family. The familiar tasks began again. She gathered things, arranged ingredients, and prepared the family meal. Even after caring for the two brothers, Mother continued working without stopping. Outside, Cutis and BUEM were still relaxing. At first, the sunlight felt pleasant. It made the two brothers feel warm and comfortable. Cutis leaned back on the chair, sometimes looking at BUEM and then around the yard. BUEM lay calmly, still enjoying the comfort after Mother's massage. But after a while, the sun suddenly became stronger. The sunlight was no longer as gentle as before. It became brighter, hotter, and harsher. Cutis noticed it quickly. He looked up at the sky, then looked at BUEM. BUEM was still small and could not know by himself that the sunlight had become too strong. If he stayed outside too long, he might become tired or uncomfortable. Cutis immediately stood up. He did not wait for Mother to remind him. He did not wait until BUEM cried. He quickly lifted BUEM and carried him to sit on the porch. Though Cutis was still small, he already understood something important. When he was beside his little brother, he had to notice what was good for him. After placing BUEM on the porch, Cutis went back to pull the chair inside. He pulled it hurriedly, worried about the hot sun, and afraid to leave things outside. Then he sat down and watched carefully, like a small older brother who had just completed an important task. Mother looked out from inside. She saw that the two brothers were no longer lying in the middle of the yard, but were sitting on the porch. Cutis called in to Mother and said the sun was very strong. His voice was a little urgent, but inside it was clear pride. He wanted Mother to know that he had noticed and brought BUEM into the shade. Mother understood immediately. Perhaps she felt very happy inside. She did not need to remind Cutis. He had observed by himself. He had protected his little brother by himself. He had brought him away from the strong sun. Cutis carried BUEM into the house. Then he ran to the cabinet, opened it, and took out clothes for Mother to change the two brothers. After sunbathing, they needed to dress properly again. Cutis handed the clothes to Mother with a serious expression. Mother changed the two brothers' clothes. Each shirt was put on. Each piece of clothing was adjusted. BUEM stayed still while Mother changed him. Cutis also sat more calmly than usual. Perhaps after the sunbathing and massage, both brothers felt more relaxed. After changing their clothes, Mother returned to cooking. Cutis stood nearby. A delicious smell began spreading from the kitchen. The aroma made Cutis pause. He smelled the warm, rich scent and looked curiously toward Mother. He did not run away immediately. He stood there watching Mother cook, drawn into each familiar movement. Mother was cooking many delicious dishes today. And Cutis felt that after a morning of being cared for by Mother, this meal would surely be something very special too. Cutis stood watching Mother cook for a long time. The kitchen was filled with the smell of food, the sound of Mother preparing ingredients, and the soft clinking of pots and bowls. Everything sounded ordinary, but to Cutis, it felt very close and warm. He ran upstairs to check on the baby. The baby was still sleeping peacefully. The baby's face was calm, breathing softly. Cutis watched for a moment and felt relieved. If the baby was sleeping well, Mother could cook, Dad could work, and Cutis could go back downstairs to stay with Mother. So Cutis ran back to the kitchen. Today, Mother was cooking many delicious dishes. Cutis sat close to her and watched each dish being prepared. He could not do many big tasks, but he still wanted to be near Mother. He wanted to watch her work. He wanted to feel the warmth of a family meal slowly coming together. Cutis stayed with Mother for a long time. Sometimes he only watched.
Mom, you're so skillful at chopping the food.
Sometimes the smell was so good that he could not resist standing up to look into the pot. Mother saw him and smiled. She knew Cutis was excited. To Cutis, today's meal was not only about eating. It was the result of Mother caring for everyone all morning. Mother massaged BUEM. Mother gently stroked Cutis. Mother changed clothes for the two brothers. Mother cooked for the whole family. Mother quietly did every small thing, so everyone could feel comfortable. Cutis could feel that effort. And then he suddenly thought of Dad. Dad was working outside in the garden. If the meal was almost ready, Dad should come home and eat with the family too. Thinking of that, Cutis quickly ran to the garden to call Dad. When he reached the garden, Cutis stood and called out. But Dad did not hear. Maybe Dad was working a little farther away. Maybe the wind, the trees, and the sounds of work in the garden kept Cutis' voice from reaching him. Cutis stood there and called again, but Dad still did not turn around. Cutis began to think. If his voice was not loud enough, he needed to make a louder sound. Cutis looked around and came up with an idea. He took an empty bottle and a small stick. Then he struck the bottle with the stick to make a loud sound. The ringing sound kept attention across the garden. Cutis was not doing it to be naughty. He did it because he wanted Dad to hear, wanted Dad to know that the meal was almost ready and everyone was waiting for him. Dad heard the sound and looked over. He saw Cutis standing there. Perhaps Dad felt both surprised and amused. Cutis was small, but he always had his own way of calling adults. Dad came closer, lifted Cutis up, and returned home with him. Cutis rested in Dad's arms, feeling relieved. He had called Dad successfully. Today's meal would not be missing anyone. Dad carried Cutis back home. In the kitchen, Mother was still preparing the final dishes. When she saw Dad and Cutis return, she smiled. The house suddenly felt more complete. Mother was there. Dad had returned. Cutis and BUEM were home. The baby was still sleeping peacefully and would soon be carried down to join the family meal. Dad helped Mother set the food out. One dish after another was placed on the tray. Today's meal was generous and full. There were many delicious dishes, and the aroma filled the house. Cutis watched Ve kep ite hat clear excitement. BUEM also looked at Mort the meal with eager eyes. Mother
Let's call
carried the
Dad
baby
go home
down.
for dinner.
Even though the baby was still small, Mother wanted the baby to be present at the family meal. Everyone gathered together, and the atmosphere became much warmer. Cutis looked around. BUEM was beside him. Dad sat nearby. Mother held the baby. The tray was full of delicious food. All of this made Cutis feel peaceful inside. The family began eating.
Where is
Dad
Dad?
gave food to the children. Mother
Dad!
cared for the baby.
Dad!
BUEM
Dad!
ate happily. Cutis ate while looking at everyone, his eyes shining. After a morning of being cared for by Mother, sunbathing, changing clothes, watching Mother cook, and running
What
to
should
call
I
Dad
do
home,
now?
Cutis finally sat in this full family meal. He felt that everything was precious. Not only because the food was delicious, but because everyone was
Dad!
together.
Dad!
Dad
Dad!
and Mother talked happily. BUEM laughed from time to time, and Cutis listened and smiled along. The baby stayed nearby, surrounded by the warmth of the family. To Cutis, this was a moment when he understood family a little more clearly. Family is not only where someone cooks for you, not only where someone cares for you when you are tired, not only where there is a delicious meal. Family is where everyone thinks of one another. Mother knew the two brothers needed sunbathing, massage, clean clothes, and good food. Cutis knew BUEM needed to avoid the sun when it became
Let's go
too
home
strong.
for dinner,
Cutis
Dad.
knew Dad needed to
cho
be
ba về ăn
called
cơm
home
hả?
to eat with everyone.
Thế về nào.
Dad knew Mother needed help setting the meal. And everyone sat together to turn an ordinary day into a beautiful memory. The meal passed with laughter. Cutis did not run around too much anymore. He sat more calmly, but his heart was very happy. He felt that he had been cared for by Mother and had also taken part in caring for the family in his own small way. He had brought BUEM to the porch when the sun became strong. He had taken clothes for Mother to change them. He had checked that the baby was sleeping. He had sat beside Mother while she cooked. He had run to the garden to call Dad home. Those things were not big. But in a family, small actions always matter when they are done with love. That day, Cutis and BUEM enjoyed a very special home care experience. There was nothing fancy. No stranger serving them. Nothing expensive. There was only Mother. Mother prepared the chair. Mother placed the two brothers under the sunlight. Mother massaged BUEM. Mother rubbed Cutis' head and gently stroked him. Mother changed their clothes when the sun became too strong. Mother cooked delicious dishes in the kitchen. Mother carried the baby down so the whole family could eat together. All of these things made Cutis feel that sometimes the most perfect care service is not found anywhere far away. It is right inside the family. It is in Mother S hands, in Mother S eyes, in the way Mother remembers every small thing about her children, in the way Mother does not say much, but always does everything to make the family comfortable. But that day was not only a day when Mother cared for the children. It was also a day when Cutis learned to care for everyone in return. When the sun became too strong, Cutis brought BUEM to the porch. When they needed clothes, Cutis took clothes for Mother. When the baby was sleeping, Cutis checked and then calmly returned downstairs. When the meal was almost ready, Cutis went to the garden to call Dad home. When Dad did not hear, Cutis thought of a way to make a loud sound to get Dad's attention. Cutis was still small, but his heart was growing little by little. He did not only know how to receive care, he was beginning to answer that care with small actions. The lesson of that day was simple. Love in a family is not always found in big words. It is found in a chair being pulled into the yard, in a hand gently massaging a little brother, in a warm meal cooked by Mother, in a child running to the garden to call Dad home for dinner, in a family meal where everyone is present. Some things are very small, but when they are done with love, they become big memories. Cutis might always remember lying under the sun with his head resting on the teddy bear. BUEM might remember Mother massaging his hands and feet. Dad might remember the loud sound Cutis made to call him home. And mother might remember the whole family sitting together after a busy morning. That is what family is. It is not always quiet. It is not always perfect. Sometimes the sun becomes too strong.